Cosmic.
Oh, they really gave us nothing new.
I think it was Mike Tyson who said everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, right?
Oh.
We had a plan. Marvel have proceeded to punch us in the face. And I'm not mad about it, but at the same time, you're kind of messing up our schedule. Hey, NarendraTheComic! Yes, so right now we're going to be reacting to a new Miss Marvel clip, teaser, whatever it might be. Now, we were supposed to do, and I'm sorry for this, we were supposed to do our Moon Knight Episode 1 review today. But Marvel just keep dropping so much stuff that it just puts us one step back, and because we know we have the Moon Knight video on lock and we can do that at any given point, we're kind of just staving off. And I know we shouldn't be, but at the same time, we got to keep up to date.
Yeah, sorry guys. I know we're going to have some complaints in the comments. We really apologise for that, but we have to move with the time.
It's almost like we decided, let's just skip it. Just to be clear, we're not going to do that. We're going to put out our episode 1 review before we see and watch episode 2. So that's just the way it's going to be. If that means we're going to stack videos on that day so we make sure it happens, we'll have to do that. I don't want to do that because that's a lot of time and editing and hours. But let's get to this clip anyway. Let's go.
I spend too much time in Fantasyland.
That is not you.
Maybe they're right. It's not really the brown girls from Jersey City who save the world.
It's like, no, oh, was that new? See, there wasn't much.
What does it feel like?
Cosmic.
Oh, they really gave us nothing new.
Yeah, I think there may have been a couple of seconds, honestly. We had seen most of it before.
I think the only thing we hadn't seen before was the reflection in the skyscraper with the people looking up.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's her doing her cosmic jumping
stuff.
steps
Yeah.
up in the sky, and everyone's like, is it a bird? Is it a plane?
It's Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
They also had the classic line, you know, it's not brown girls from Jersey City who save the world. Horrible line, by the way. Absolutely atrocious line, but it stuck through the comics and the creator said it many times and that's why it kind of stuck, and it's a trash line, to be fair. Anyone can do what they want. Doesn't matter what colour your skin is. Doesn't matter what religion you are. Doesn't matter what you think of yourself. You have to believe you're the best.
Well, maybe that's what this is about. It's her beginning saying, I'm not that person, and by the end she makes the choice because she has to put the bangles on to say, I am going to be that person, and anyone can be that person.
Yeah.
They just need to hold themselves accountable and responsible for their own actions.
Something I did actually just clock was the fact that you obviously had Kunal Nanjiani in The Eternals, and he was playing like a Bollywood star of some sort, but I remember him saying that he was the first Pakistani character in the MCU to have a superhero role, even though he's an Eternal, so he's not a human, so he's not Pakistani. Weird stuff. Maybe Pakistani actor, he can say that to the degree. She's also Pakistani as well, and her character is also Pakistani American. But the thing is, they're showing stuff like Bhangra and that type of stuff, but that culture is actually Indian culture. Yeah. It's actually Hindu Indian culture. But the stuff that's getting put forward oftentimes is Pakistani Muslim culture here and there. So I don't know how that works, how you can have so much representation for one specific portion of the Indian subcontinent and then just leave the majority of it, which is the 1.2 billion people in India, alone. I don't get that.
Yeah, it is kind of odd when you consider that Pakistan's population is far, far smaller than India's. And I imagine India must be a market for superhero films.
Oh, it's a huge market.
Right?
Pakistan's a very small market for films, internationally and domestically. India, for the MCU, is one of the biggest 5 markets.
So when you think about that, I'm wondering why they would choose to have Pakistani representation and not Indian representation from a money basis,
well,
right?
From the character's point of view, he wasn't Pakistani, he was not South Asian in the comics. They just race changed shit and changed shit up. With her, she's a new character. They only made her in like 2014 or 2015, and the creators made her to be Pakistani because she was Pakistani. Self-insert is generally a bad thing, I feel, in most storytelling. With her, I don't think her character has stuck that well. When you look at someone like Miles Morales, he's actually had a pretty good career as Spider-Man in the comics, and now he's being spread out to the movies, and he's probably going to be a very big character in the MCU, the Sony universe, whatever it might be in the future, because there's been that time and effort put into his character building, and he's a likable character. I don't really like a character in the comics. It's a bit meh. I know comics in general are pretty trash now, and by that I mean Marvel and DC. I know, Image Comics, some great stuff going on. Independent comics, also some good stuff. But with the main boys, the big guns, it's utter rubbish. That's just a fact. You can see it in the sales. They're destructive. It's basically eating itself every single week. Why do you think anime is having a big comeback? Why do you think it's going all across the West as well? It's because people are saying, hey, what the hell's going on here? There's so much good shit.
Yep.
All our shit is terrible.
It's gonna happen. We're gonna see the construction of these comic book characters, and they're actually gonna start to crumble bit by bit. I think it also is difficult when you have so many different comic book characters come to life on screen. I wouldn't consider me a big fan of comics, but I've become a fan of comic book films. But with so many characters, the regular viewer is gonna say, who's that? Who's that? Why do I have to care about this character? It's not like a Spiderman where everyone knows the story and everyone can relate to that story because it's been so inserted into the general culture and media that everyone can relate to it like that. With all these characters, you really have to start peering to understand them.
But I think that's the problem with certain products that came at the same time as the MCU. When you look at the Warner Brothers TV stuff, when you look at the CW universe, the Arrowverse, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, that string of shows had the problem I'm talking about right now, and that is people do not have the time to keep up to date with all these products. And I think Marvel is doing it in a different way because they're not making 24 episode seasons, they're not making 15 episode seasons, they're making them digestible, they're making them short, so that if one weekend you just wanted to pop on a whole season, you can pop it on in 4 hours and be done with it. You don't need to spend 20 hours watching one season of television. So I think from that point of view, they're kind of protecting themselves by not making them 12 episode seasons, which I would have preferred. But I think in the long term, to get more people to jump onto the universe, then making them shorter seasons is actually the smart play. And I think that might protect them from that idea of burnout and people not wanting to pay attention to it for that much longer. But when it comes to new characters, it's always hard to make them stick. It always is, whether it's in the films, TV, comics, books, doesn't matter. And I don't know if Marvel have done enough over the last 10 years to really make these characters stand out in the cultural zeitgeist. And they might say, you know, it's the first character like this, or the first character like this, or this character does this, and we've never seen that before. But to be fair, all the power sets have been done. Yeah. It's so difficult to create new stuff because it's impossible. It's impossible at this point because everything has been done once, twice, thrice. That's a major, major issue with creating new characters, especially characters that are just leapfrogging off other characters, personas, names, and gravitas. I think that weakens the overall character of this new character if it's just going to be based off an old character or it's going to be inspired by a previous character. You have to do something that is inherently unique, even though you know it cannot be unique.
See, that's one of my problems with the upcoming shows. When I think about something like She-Hulk, the fact that Hulk is in her title...
Derivative. It's
derivative, right? She's his cousin or something along those lines. She's a lawyer. When I think of that character and the little I know about her, I'm not that intrigued by her story because one of the biggest parts of Hulk's story is being the man and the Hulk. But she has that down from the get-go, right? Which means part of her core struggle has just been removed.
Yeah, the struggle has been removed from that concept of the monster and the man, right?
Right, and that is what you watch television for. It's what you watch films for. It's for internal conflict, external conflict, struggle to find humanity or to better oneself or to better a community, all those things. And if she's already miles ahead of Hulk or years ahead of him in her own personal journey, you have to add external interest and intrigue. Oh no, this is going to be way worse than that with She-Hulk. She-Hulk is apparently going through production hell compared to these other shows. This one did as well. Moon Knight was relatively okay, but all the shows, WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, also had production problems. But I think what they're doing with She-Hulk is she's basically becoming She-Hulk in the show. It's not like she's had years and years to hone herself. It's no, she's becoming She-Hulk in the show and is already going to be smart She-Hulk, which is the way it is in the comics. But at the same time, you have that conflict with the Hulk from all these 10 years of films, which is who's the one in charge. That's what makes it interesting. But if you're just going to make her off the bat smart She-Hulk and have smart Hulk as well, which I don't like at all, I don't like that in the MCU. I like it in the comics, it can work, but I don't think it worked in the MCU. Then I don't know where you're going to go with it from now on. But I will say I'm more excited for this show than She-Hulk. And that says a lot because this does not look great, but it looks okay. I've not seen anything from She-Hulk. I know Jamila Jamil's in it, and I don't like her. Oh, I don't like her.
I don't like Tatiana Maslany. Great. She's a really good actress.
She is.
I mean, jeez, man.
Oh, I didn't know.
I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling that show.
I didn't know Jameela Jamil's going to be in the show.
Nah.
Oh, that's kind of put a spanner in the works. I really don't want to watch this now.
Yeah, no, I'm not really feeling that. But this could be good. I'm saying it might not be good, but it could be good. Whereas with that, I'm kind of signed off and being like, that's probably going to be bad. Even though as a great lead actress, it's probably not going to be good. But I hope, I really do. Miss Marvel, better than I think it's going to be. I hope so.
Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy that video, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then Miss Marvel, it's going to come after you.
Oh, you should be scared, quaking in your boots, some 14-year-old. Oof, coming after you.
She has that cosmic punch, and you do not want
that's
that.
True. You don't want that. No.
You really don't, so just subscribe anyway to avoid that. Now, I've been Non-Sensei.
I've been NarendraTheComic.
You've been great, and we'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. If you don't know, we make a video every single day. Been doing it every day for over 1,000 days now, and we aren't stopping until we get 10,000 subscribers. So do subscribe. Pop back in tomorrow for some more quality, shitty content, because of hashtag never not here. Just how it goes. We also bring the bakwas. Bakwas means nonsense in Punjabi, and we also bring that. Bring a lot, bring a little, do a lot, do a little, but we do indeed bring that quality shitty content on a daily basis. So see you tomorrow. More the same, slightly different, but essentially the very same once more. See you then. Skadoosh.